working in my 2017 Composite Art Journal. The page that I want to do today is a fine line fun page. This is the first fine line fun page that I did in 2017. I was playing with this texture on the page. And let me tell you, after it's dry and these colors have had a chance to cure on the page, I am liking it more and more and more. You can really see the texture of the border here. I really like this corner, but also of the centerpiece here. So I'm going to work on the back of this page. The back of this page has a lot of discoloration from this side, but that's okay because it really does give this page a nice border. Now what I'm going to do is work white on white when I first start. So you may not be able to see a lot of what I'm doing when I begin, but I'm going to let this dry, and then when it's dried, I'm going to do the same thing as I did here on this white. After it's dried, I came over it with a gold wash. Now I don't know if I'll use a gold wash on this page. I may use a tan or an olive green. I'm not sure. But what I'm going to do, and what makes this so fun for me, is that I am practicing writing with my Fineline Paint Applicator. I want to do a quote. I have a big book of Bartlett's familiar quotations, and I found one in here by Emerson, Ralph Waldo Emerson. I think that it's taken from an essay that he did on nature. But the quote is fairly long, and I want that to be long because I want to fill this entire page up with text from my Fineline Paint Applicator. I'm going to write the quote, then I will probably let this entire page dry overnight, because when you use these Fineline Paint Applicators and you get a really thick line like this, it takes it a while to dry. And if you do not let it dry adequately and you come in with a wash, you can smear this whole thing. So I'm going to get started, and when I'm finished, I'll come back and talk about it. This is happening just like I want it to. You can see the paint is pretty thick on the page. I am using a Fineline Paint Applicator. I get them at Hobby Lobby. You can also get them at Dick Blick, the last time I looked. This is the standard 18 gauge nozzle, and what I have in here is just plain white craft paint, nothing else. Nothing to dilute it, nothing to make it thicker. I really do like that when I want a nice thick line with lots of texture. Now this is going to have to dry overnight. It'll take a while for it to dry. And when it does, I'm going to come back and put a wash over this. The white paint of the quote that I wrote with my Fineline Paint Applicator is all finished. I wish you could feel how embossed these words are on this page. This is going to be so fun. I just am going to enjoy this. This has inspired me. What I'm going to do next is put a wash of this gold screen printing ink. This is Speedball's gold screen printing ink on this page. It already has this border around here from the other page, from the opposite side, and I really like that effect, and I think a wash on here will work really nice. Look at this. See how that wash causes the white of these letters to spring forward? I am just really going to enjoy this. I'm thinking that I can get more white showing on them by taking my towel and wetting it and just removing the top layer off of some of those letters. You have to do this while the paint is still wet. And that happens because the craft paint has an acrylic base, and when it dries, it will repel a water-based substance. You don't want to rub at it too hard, and you want to remove the ink on the white part of the letters. If you start rubbing in this area here, you'll do what I did down here and start removing the paper. So I'm going to continue with this, and when I'm finished, I'll come back and talk about it. My page is finished. I am really happy with it. I really like how embossed these words are on the page. The page is still a little damp because I used a wash to go over this. First I put on a coat of gold screen printing ink, and then I just used acrylic paint wash around the edges. Then I took a wet towel and removed some of the color on these words. But I really like how embossed the words are on this page. I think this is going to be one of my favorite techniques. And I think you will be seeing me do this in more of my art projects. What a fun technique. I will see you on the next page.